All right, what is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints? It's a very depressing night. Don't expect too many people to watch live. It's late. Wasn't expecting to do this. Modern Day Debate is streaming. Mr. Atheist is streaming. Lots of people are streaming right now. But it's a sad day. It's a day that if you're a liberal, if you're fighting against Donald Trump, it's a day that you haven't want to see. You haven't wanted to see. I think for a lot of us, it's a day that we just never, we thought it would never come. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead. Yeah. I mean, it's such a blow. Yeah, as a leftist, this makes me super sad. I agree, Mr. Parker. I'm going to throw the link in the description if a few people want to come in. I'm not going to stay live too long, but I do want to discuss this. Maybe have a conversation about this. I am super tired. Just got home from work. It was a rough night at work. I found this out probably about an hour before I got out of work. So it made that last hour just really, really shitty. And there's a lot involved here. You take away Trump and you take away the ramifications of what's going to happen now. We lost a champion. We lost a champion of feminism. We lost a champion of gender equality. The second woman ever elected onto the Supreme Court. For a long time, the only woman on the Supreme Court. In a time when we are facing a very vicarious balance in the Supreme Court. We lost Kennedy, which was a moderate vote for a right-wing vote in Kavanaugh. We know what Mitch McConnell did 4 years ago, and instead of Merrick Garland, we got, whatever the fuck that guy's name was, who was another right-wing judge. But that was replacing Scalia, I think, so that wasn't much of a change of the balance of power. Outside of that was our chance to bring the court left a little bit more. And we all know that Democrats are weak and Mitch McConnell did what he did. And there's no way in hell Mitch McConnell is going to be consistent now. Yeah, I am really tired. I was back and forth on whether to stream because I am really tired. I've been tired all day. If you didn't if you didn't see the stream earlier as I was reviewing Cuties, I was really tired in that. And I think a lot of it was, I was in a lot of rooms yesterday. But a lot of it also was watching that movie. And I think it took a lot out of me emotionally, and considering it and trying to be as fair as I could, with that movie really took a lot out of me. So yeah, I mean, this isn't the best. What is a good day for this to happen? And if anybody would like to come in and chat, again, I don't know how long I'll be live. I am tired, but who knows? Maybe we'll have a good little conversation. There's no way in hell that Mitch McConnell will be consistent. We all know this. Nobody expects it. We know that Trump is going to put forward his nomination soon. Real soon. There probably isn't much of a way for them to there probably isn't much of a way for them to get it through before the election, but in the lame duck session afterwards, I don't think that there's really any chance in hell that they won't get it through. But what's up, Mr. Parker?
Not much. It's super late for me too, and this is devastating news, really.
Yeah, I mean it's like my spirits were sunk, and like I'm at work, I'm surrounded by Trump supporters, so it was like a bittersweet moment because there's Red Fang, because I was trying to express, how sad I was, and they were trying to be supportive of me because they're my friends. But at the same time, it's like I could tell that they were fucking happy. Like this was a great day for them. So yeah, it was like it was tough to get through the last hour, probably. And fuck anybody out there right now that's celebrating this moment. I mean, I don't. It's just fucked up if you're celebrating right now. At least hold that shit for tomorrow. But yeah, it's a messed up day. What's up, Red Fang? Glad y'all could join me. I figure I'll go for an hour or two. Hey, not too much. It's a shitty night, man. It's a shitty night.
Definitely is.
Like 2020 just couldn't get more fucked up. Just bring them. Just shoot the meteor at Earth now. Let's just fucking end this shit.
Right.
But I don't know if you guys know too much about RBG. I know a lot of people don't. Supreme Court isn't a popular thing to talk about or even follow. But she's always been kind of a hero of mine ever since. I think mainly because she was the first justice that Clinton put into the Supreme Court after I became a Democrat. So it was something that I remember. I went from being a conservative and I was really happy that she was put into the court when she was, because she wasn't supposed to be the one. There was this other, I can't remember the name, but there was another pick that everybody thought was a shoe-in for it, and Hillary Clinton was actually familiar with RBG and knew of her from her days fighting for gender equality. So Hillary Clinton actually pushed for RBG with her husband to be nominated, and to everybody's surprise, she became a judge. What's up, Leo?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm
a little disappointed. But I'm disappointed, and I don't know if I'm not that upset about this because I've just become so fucking cynical to everything that's been happening, or if it's because I realize that this is a process and that they're not going to get somebody nominated and confirmed before the election. The thing that concerns me the most is that if Donald Trump does win re-election, at this point, then it just doesn't matter. But if Biden wins, they are going to try as hard as they can to get a new justice confirmed during the lame duck before Biden takes over.
Oh yeah.
Mitch McConnell's going to. The only thing I can say is that I hope enough Republicans in the Senate have the courage and the, as Maddox would put it, the C.O. Jones to stand up and say, no, we're not letting anybody come through until the new president comes in, because I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I do think that a lame duck president should not be allowed to make certain nominations. I just don't.
Well, that's what they did to Obama.
Yeah, but
Well,
you have
yeah,
to remember
yeah.
they didn't do it to Obama while he was a lame duck.
Yeah, they did it to
Yeah.
him for a whole year. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, they sat on that for so long.
yeah, and you know that's what nobody's expecting consistency. Like Mitch McConnell's going to push it through. Maybe because they only need a simple majority.
Yeah.
But maybe we can get 2 or 3 to have some fucking integrity because that's all we really need to block it. But I don't see that happening. I don't, maybe what's her name up in Maine?
Isn't that Lisa Murkowski?
No, Murkowski's one of them, but it's not who I can't remember her name. It's not who I'm thinking about. Stephen King is putting a lot of his influence in Maine to go against this woman, Collins. Her name is Collins.
Susan Collins.
Yeah,
Susan Collins.
maybe her because she is like looking at losing because of the opposition she has in Maine.
Mhm.
But I think maybe she would be the only one we could possibly sway, and I think we need 2 or 3.
I thought Lisa Murkowski said that if somebody else that if RBG had passed away toward the end of Trump's term, assuming that he doesn't get reelected, that she wasn't gonna be voting. She would vote down any nomination to ensure.
I mean, hopefully she'll stand to that, but I think she's a coward. I think she'll fold quicker and shit.
I think it just depends on their voters.
She's gonna have Trump coming at her, Mitch McConnell. Man, it's gonna be ugly. Like, I mean, because I don't even think right now, I think it would be like fuck their voters because this is so important to turn the Supreme Court. Not just right, but extreme right. I mean, that's what we're facing right now. An extreme. I mean, I have heard that Donald Trump is considering Tom Cotton or Ted Cruz. Yep. Yeah. I mean, what? I
honestly don't think he'll nominate either of those two. I really don't.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, Ted Cruz is a constitutional lawyer, so technically he can be nominated. I do believe.
I'm gonna be honest. Out of those two, I would rather Ted Cruz than Tom.
No, me too. Yeah, over Cotton. Well, I mean, let's not forget. I mean, Kavanaugh never had any trial experience, and he's a Supreme Court. Exactly. So I mean, it really doesn't even fucking matter.
I haven't been very pleased with Kavanaugh's performance. I am actually. This is how I'll word it. I'm more pleased than I thought I would be with Gorsuch's performance.
Well, Gorsuch and Kavanaugh have both surprised me a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Kavanaugh surprised me like once or twice, but he still stuck pretty mainstream conservative. Well, Gorsuch has actually been all right.
Yeah, Gorsuch is, but that's with a moderate. It's a moderate bench right now, right?
Exactly. If it tilts full conservative, they might completely change.
They'll most likely, because I mean we know Gorsuch what he is. I mean, he is a far right corporatist. He's going to side with the corporations every fucking time. But he has
than a conservative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Far more. But he has surprised me. Kavanaugh fucking surprised me here recently with a couple of his votes. And maybe that could just be Kavanaugh trying to ease the pressure he's been under ever since he was nominated. But I'm scared, man. I'm scared because if this is a close election. And it goes to the Supreme Court. And now it's a far right Supreme Court. I mean, even if it's not Cotton or Cruz, but just some other person off that list he had that were all extreme far right judges. I mean, we can kiss Roe v. Wade goodbye on the national level. I mean, it's gone. It's Roberts won't be able to save it.
And once that happens, though, states will start implementing their own laws on that.
Well, yeah, and it'll go to the state level, and yeah. But what I'm most afraid of,
there'll be another big ass fight on it, and it'll go back to the Supreme Court. And if there's enough pressure from the states, I do see the Supreme Court reinstating it. But we're talking hundreds of thousands of people protesting in the streets pressure. Yeah. Which at this point, I wouldn't put it past this country. That's the problem. We need more leftists armed in the streets.
Yeah,
because that's the problem. These conservatives think the leftists are just a bunch of dildo wielding pussies. Show them we mean business, and I think it's about to happen.
Well, I was asked that the other night in a praise I am that I am room, and they really pissed me off because they kept muting me. Like Gavin kept muting me, and they kept putting me backstage. And wouldn't.
I got good news for you, Rage. Gavin doesn't have that power anymore.
Good. I mean, because I called praise out pretty hard for that shit, dude. And you know they were demonizing Breonna Taylor, and I was just coming to try to like give some facts and shit, and tell Jill to just stop fucking doing that. And it really infuriated me. But like part of it, it was about that. It was about I can't even remember anymore. I'm so fucking I'm with Kitty the atheist. Like I didn't cry because I was at work. And I'm a big man, big strong man. I wanted to fucking cry. Like if I'd have been alone, I probably would have fucking cried. I mean, this is fucking devastating, man. You know.
Do you want to know what I did when I first heard about it?
What?
I was just like,
yeah, I mean, it was a face palm. I mean, I went up to everybody and I'm like, RBG is dead. And they're all like, who? And I'm like, this is what's wrong with this fucking country right now. I mean, I'm telling women, you know, RBG is dead. And they're like, who? And I'm like, the woman that fought for you all of those years before you were born. Like, how do you not fucking know who RBG is? You know, like,
no shit.
But that's what's wrong. They don't know who fought for them. They don't know who the real heroes are. They only know the Kardashians and the Kanye West of the world. You know, it's bullshit.
And how sad is it that the death of an 87-year-old Supreme Court justice calls into question the future of democracy in this country?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a sad state of affairs we live in this republic. I think when one person was the balance, and let's not forget. I mean that was going to be that's what I'm most scared about now. Is we've got a possible fascist that might even
Trump
lose.
Is not a possible fascist.
He's a fucking he's a fascist, and now he's got a Supreme Court that might just very well hand him that power on a silver platter. You know, I mean, that's the scary fucking thing.
If that happens, and I'm not being facetious when I say this, if that happens, if Trump wins re-election and everything, and this country just slides, one of two things is going to happen to me. Number one, I'm going to get super fucking rich somehow, and I'm moving to another country. Or number two, I'm going to die in the streets fighting fascism. And like I said, I'm not being facetious when I say that.
I will too. I mean, I will too. I mean, that's what I was going to say. In Praise's room the other night, they were asking me if about Antifa, because I was telling them how I used to be like active Antifa. I used to stand against neo-Nazis. I mean, we didn't call ourselves Antifa, but that's what we would be called now, right? And I do, ever since, you know, Trump has been doing his attacks on Antifa, I have on my Facebook, on Twitter, I have put I am Antifa because I am Antifa. I am anti-fascist. And I think that they need that support right now.
Anti-fascist.
You know, and they were asking me about that, and I was telling them, hey, yeah, I consider myself Antifa, and they were asking, does Antifa have weapons? And I'm like, are you idiots? Of course they do. They're fucking basically revolutionaries. Of course they have weapons. And there is this misconception that the left doesn't have weapons. And I think the right's going to find out the hard way that we do. There's 380 million guns in this country. I'd say it's probably divided pretty evenly.
Yeah, I really do think and I think that over the last 4 years, especially over this last year, a lot more leftists have probably armed themselves. And another thing that I wanted to point out is that, and this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of, you know what, fine, fuck it, Biden, but this is bullshit. Because I think that's just the best way to summarize it is if Donald Trump wins re-election, that's going to doubly enthuse his supporters, and we're going to see more of his supporters taking to the streets armed and attacking people. It's going to further normalize the racism and the bigotry and the xenophobia, and that's where all these leftists, especially on Twitter, like Ryan Knight and who's a big one, who's the other big one? Oh, I can't think of his name. Oh shit, Tim Black.
Yeah, Tim Black's.
There's another one. And I like these guys. I'm not saying that what they're saying is wrong, but their vehement opposition to Biden, they should continue to criticize Biden. There's nothing wrong with that, but they need to be encouraging their supporters, especially their supporters in the crucial swing states. Look, I get it. Biden is a shit candidate, but we can't let Trump win again because this country will not have another free and fair election for probably a decade.
Yeah, Kyle Kalinske should definitely do that, I think. And I should definitely do that more.
Kyle Kalinske, I think, is voting for Biden. He doesn't.
Is he? Has he changed?
Them. but I do believe he is still voting for Biden.
But I mean,
and I'm hoping that the death of RBG pushes some of those leftists to realize, like, okay, that this really is serious.
What
like,
I'm afraid of is
Trump to pick somebody else, or
I'm afraid of the opposite of that. I'm afraid because a lot of leftists, I mean, that was the talking point. You got to vote for the Supreme Court. You got to vote. And RBG isn't going to be able to hold on. We got to get rid of Trump for RBG, and now RBG's gone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of leftists are going to go that down ballot route now. I think. I think it's going to make it harder on Biden.
If Trump does win re-election, but the Democrats keep the House and take the Senate, and they have to do both, not just one, both, we'll be all right because we will have the legislative branch. But
we'll
be able to just strike down every frickin' nomination that Trump throws up there. But both of those things have to happen if Trump wins.
I think it's almost more important now that both of those things happen. But go ahead, Kitty. You was trying to speak up.
No, it's fine. I think that the best case scenario is he's not able to get the appointment through beforehand, that the Democrats grow a pair and a spine and say, no, Merrick Garland. Remember Merrick Garland? Yeah, you said that a lame duck president, or a president that's about to face, leaving office, shouldn't get it. Let the election happen first and let the people decide who their next president or who their next Supreme Court will be by choosing the president, But he's already, from what I've heard, basically saying, forget what I said before.
Mitch McConnell's already come out and said that he's going to work to get another get this nomination through, get whoever.
Honestly, Mitch McConnell has done more to harm this democracy than anybody.
Yeah, I agree, Kitty.
But if I could kill Mitch McConnell and get away with it, I'd do it.
Oh, don't say that.
Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure Mitch McConnell is going to be out this
I'm an
voting.
anti-fascist, and Mitch McConnell is a fascist. He
absolutely is. Like, the worst case scenario is they get the appointment done before the election, and a lot of leftists just say, I'm done. There's no point. It takes the fight out of them, which is why Mitch McConnell would push to do it. Not only to guarantee a conservative court, but also to basically defeat the left by disheartening them. And the best case scenario is the appointment doesn't get through in time, and because of the urgency of, look, RBG is gone. Like, this icon, this fucking giant of a woman who has done so much for democracy and civil rights in her time, before even the Supreme Court. Like, her entire career, her life was dedicated to making sure that we got a more egalitarian and a more egalitarian system, and she was my hero for that. And so, best case scenario, the appointment doesn't go through, and it emboldens the left in that, we need to do this. I don't care how bad Biden is. I'm voting for him because Ruth is gone, and we can't have a conservative court, because that's more than just one or two elections. That is generational. That it's going to have an impact on our electoral politics.
The only way it changes is if we expand the Supreme Court, and we're going to need a Democratic supermajority in both houses. Not just Democratic, but progressive Democratic supermajority in both houses, plus a progressive Democratic president before that ever happens.
Well, it's the trolls are really enjoying this one.
Fuck those.
Yes, Secret Service, don't come to my house.
Come to mine. I dare you. Come put on your little government suit and get in your little government car and come to my front door, and I'll get out my wallet.
I think that I think that the nominee will not go through before the election. I mean, they would basically have to perform a miracle to get it to go through before the election. But I do think that there's a lame duck session after, and we have lost that talking point now. A lot of leftists are already talking, hashtag down ballot, and a lot of leftists weren't going to do it because the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is just the staple. I mean, what Donald Trump has done and what the Republican Party has done in the last 4 years for getting Trump judge nominations on all levels, I mean, passed is it's really at a rate that's never been done before. Donald Trump has already changed the landscape of the judiciary branch of our government. Yep. That I mean, it's going to take a decade at least to try to repair that. That now that we don't have that one last talking point, that Supreme Court talking point, I have a feeling like Biden is going to lose a lot of votes over it because a lot of lefties are going to do down ballot. They're going to go for that Senate. I hope that's not the case. But I just, I don't know. Right now it could be just me feeling the pain. And I know Dr. Brian Oblivion, you're really loving that right now. But you know, I'm hoping I'm feeling the pain tonight and I'll wake up a bit more optimistic tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. There was
I
something
honestly don't know.
I wanted to mention about Biden. I think he's just a shitty candidate, but let's all be honest here. Biden is not going to put somebody like Bill Barr in charge of the Department of Justice. Biden is not going to pick someone like Betsy DeVos to run the Department of Education. Biden isn't going to pick somebody like Steven Mnuchin to run the Department of Treasury. Biden isn't going to do those things. I'm not saying he's a good candidate, a great candidate, none of those. But let's be honest with each other and with ourselves here. He is better than Donald Trump in almost an innumerable number of ways.
Just about every single way. He is a huge improvement to Donald Trump. I mean, here's the thing. I was really salty about what happened on Bloody Monday, as Kyle Kulinski calls it, when the fucking corporate Dems all coalesced around Biden after his one victory because we thought Bernie was going to win.
Well, that's the only reason they did it. Because they knew that
what would have happened
is I think it would have come down to Buttigieg and Bernie, not Biden and Bernie.
No, and Buttigieg would not have beat Bernie, or Trump for that matter, but I digress. When it came down to it, I was pissed, and I had my moment of, fuck Biden. But when Bernie withdrew from the race, when he conceded essentially, then it was like, okay, damage control mode. I saw the headlines about RBG back then that, her cancer had returned and that she had broken her hip. And I'm like, dude, she's not going to last much longer. I don't think she can last 4 more years. So that was the galvanizing thing for me to say, I held my nose and voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016 to try to prevent Trump. And I will do it again with, even more fervor this time, because if Trump and McConnell get their way, we could be taking the first steps towards essentially becoming Gilead. When it comes down to it, we know that Gorsuch is a bit of a wild card. He is anarcho-capitalist. When it comes to corporations and Citizens United, he will rule against the people every single time.
Without thinking twice.
If I recall, there was one case. He was the only dissenting opinion. It was a truck driver. His truck
I remember that.
broke down, and
in the middle of the street.
It was the middle
he
of
almost
nowhere.
Died of hypothermia.
Exactly, and he basically
fired him for
it. He disconnected the truck to go warm up because he was slurring his speech. He had been waiting for hours in the cold, and Gorsuch is like, nah, they were fine to fire him, and that heartless, capitalistic, mentality, Gorsuch will be on the wrong side of those types of issues. But when it comes to civil rights issues, it seems like he's more moderate, and that can work in our favor, because as bad as Citizens United is, as bad as the corporate oligarchs have become, that can eventually be undone. The damage done to civil rights might not be so easy to fix and could be a lasting thing. So it was thinking that Ruth Bader Ginsburg couldn't make it 4 more years that solidified I'm voting for Biden, and I'm going to try to get as many people to vote for Biden as I possibly can, because he is objectively better than Trump, and the Supreme Court is the number one issue for me in this election, and now even more so. And I really, really hope the appointment doesn't go through, because I don't think that it's going to be what you're saying, where, just her dying is going to cause down ballot races and it's going to cause people not to vote for Biden. I don't think that's the case. I think if the appointment goes through, that's what's going to happen, because people will be disheartened. It's well, it doesn't matter anymore. the Supreme Court is lost.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because I don't know. Like I was actually starting to get a little hope that Biden might actually pull it out. I've been fairly down on him publicly on all the shows I've been on, but like he's kept a fairly consistent lead despite not really running for it. So I was starting to get a little hope. This has really punched me in the gut. And I do like actually agree with you, Dr. Brian Oblivion. This doesn't happen very often, but I do think that Biden's not going to install lefties in the courts. He will install institutionalist, corporatist. They'll still be left leaning institutionalist and corporatist.
They're just going to be people that
at least on social issues.
Yeah.
Just be people who uphold Citizens United, but they'll still want Roe v. Wade and all this other stuff. They'll be fine on social issues. It's just going to be more economic stuff. They're going to lean a little bit more.
I mean, it's definitely going to put like Citizens United off for a little bit longer, but the social issues are what's important anyway. Well, I mean, Citizens United to me is the most important issue. You take money out of politics, then you get your government back.
Yeah, no, money in politics is the single most corrupting influence, and it's why things like you have over 60% of people, like almost 70 now, I think, that support Medicare for all, but it's not even, other than, the lefties that like AOC and Rashida Tlaib and so on, it's not on the corporate Dems, agenda, because they know where their money comes from, and their money comes from fucking pharmaceutical companies and other businesses. Same thing like getting rid of private prisons. That's not going to happen until Citizens United is overturned. But the damage to that is not going to take as long to undo. It sucks for the people impacted, but I think the social issues, as far as like Roe v. Wade, LGBT rights, like those things are more pressing. We can take back the government and overturn Citizens United in the future. We can't lose any ground on Roe v. Wade.
Well, and that's, I think, definitely going to be at stake now, at least on the national level. I think it was already. We had a couple victories this last round that kind of surprised me. When it came to Roe v. Wade, but not if the court is going to swing farther right now, then I think that Roe v. Wade on the national level is in trouble.
What's the name of the guy that's running against Nancy Pelosi? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I don't think he's Muslim. He's Arabian, but he's not. I don't know if he's a practicing Muslim or not, but I hope he wins. I wanted Charles Booker to run against McConnell, but Amy McGrath got it. I'm not really a fan of her, but I hope she fucking beats McConnell. I really
do. It would be great. Have you paid attention to the Lindsey Graham race down in South Carolina?
That one's looking like.
Yeah. Oh man, Lindsey Graham is sweating right now.
I hope Lindsey Graham loses his seat. I hope Nancy Pelosi loses her seat. I hope Ted Cruz loses his seat, but I don't think that'll happen.
Well, Ted Cruz might lose his seat if he gets one on the Supreme Court. So,
honestly, though,
I think a lot of these
that had said that if somebody killed Ted Cruz on the Senate floor, you wouldn't find a single witness to the actual crime. Like nobody likes Ted Cruz, so if he picks him, then that might guarantee it doesn't happen. Then again, they might hold their nose and pass it through just to get an ideological conservative on the court.
Yeah, well, I would hope. I mean, you would think that the Republicans still have to have some fucking integrity.
They do.
Right?
The Republicans still don't like Trump, and they never did. They just followed him lockstep because they know that's going to keep their base happy and keep them getting elected. That's it. And that's why I'm wondering if they can't get confirmation in the Senate prior to the election, and if Biden wins the election, and those Republicans know, all right, we don't have to worry about Trump. We know he's out. That's where I think that during that lame duck, if McConnell really tries to push, some of those Republicans, I think, might say, I'm sorry, but no, we're not letting this happen. But I could be wrong.
I don't know that much about the Ted Cruz and the Senate's politics and like how Ted Cruz is viewed, but I definitely understand that no one really wants someone to get put into the position, like get put in state, while a new president has been elected, or until the election happens. Because once if Trump somehow magically gets Congress to select or get someone on the floor, it's just gonna be mental, and I just feel despair.
I'll be honest. I'm actually consistent. I think that Trump should get his get this pick. I think that he should. I think the Constitution gives that right to him as president. I thought that Obama should have got it, and I was outraged, and I hated the fact. I mean, and they just totally cheated Obama for a year. But I mean, I think that the Constitution gives a president the right to have his Supreme Court pick. Now, I'm going to be totally two-faced on that and totally hope he doesn't get it, because I'm vindictive and I think that, hey, you did it to us, we should be able to do it to you. But I do think, like, I am consistent. I think that constitutionally he has that right to get his Supreme Court pick. No,
I don't, because I don't think the Constitution applies to fascists. He's a fascist.
Well, that is a good argument, and I think that there is an argument to be had as well. Like if it happens and he's found guilty of committing crimes as president after he's president, that would be unprecedented. And could we remove his appointments if it is found that there was some kind of Russian connection or illegal activity on his part as president?
I don't think so, because of Senate confirmation. Like, that is their version of vetting, and because they agreed with it, then I don't think you would have that case to make.
Yeah, I don't think that there would be any way to undo any of it. I mean, it would take years. It's going to take years just to undo like the damage he's done to like the FBI and the CIA and institutions like that. Yeah, I don't think that you could ever really undo his judicial picks or shit like that. So, yeah, I mean,
like the fucking what was it, like 300 lower coin appointments that he's got?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's unprecedented what he's done in the judiciary. I mean, no president's ever pushed so many through so fast.
I think.
And I mean, Democrats have been complicit in that though. Like Democrats are just like, yeah, have your judges. I'm like, where is your fucking backbone? Like, why they don't fight him on nothing? They only fight him when it's publicly when it's public and they know that they'll be on TV doing it. But like when it comes to like giving them as judges, oh yeah, here, take whatever. I mean, he's literally got judges serving on benches that have they have no trial experience. They've never been in a courtroom. I mean, it's disgusting. They're just far right extremists.
Yeah, they're just trying to pervert this country, sell it to the highest bidder.
And Democrats just gave it to him. I mean, it's sad.
The Democrats don't care. Why do you think that they did everything both in 2016 and in 2020 to subvert Bernie Sanders, or submit Bernie Sanders to the will of the party? Because the Democrats are, I should say, were more scared of a President Sanders than they were a President Trump or a second-term President Trump. Because at least Donald Trump protects the corporate establishment. Bernie wouldn't. And Democrats are a part of that corporate establishment. So, well, you know, let's risk it with Biden, because if Trump still wins, well, at least that corporate establishment is still protected.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that people are coalescing behind AOC and Nina Turner now. I'm a huge Nina Turner fan. I've been a huge AOC fan. I got to meet AOC like really, really briefly at the No Dapple protest. She was one of the organizers, and I got to meet her really briefly. And it was before like she ever became AOC. But I've always liked her politics, and I've always somewhat aligned with them. There's things that we do disagree on. Nina Turner, I'm like we match almost 100%. When it comes to politics, I mean, I've never heard anything she said that I disagree with ever. Mm-hmm. So I would hope that, because Bernie's time's over. I mean, it's sad they cheated him twice.
Yeah, he's not gonna, no. And
it's time for the new leaders to step up, and I think that's AOC. I think it's Nina Turner, and a couple more from the squad. I think it's really time for the women of the Democratic Party to step up and take leadership.
If Biden wins this election, and I only say this because then at least we'll have some form of a free and fair election in 2022 and 2024. In 2024, the Democratic nominee is probably going to be a progressive woman of color. I can't say who, but I would bet quite a bit of money that it will be a progressive. Because I'm saying Biden wins, Biden won't make it 2 terms, especially if a progressive woman of color.
He already said he wasn't going to run to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
well, and I think if Biden win or lose, no matter what happens, I think that we need to form a third party. I think that progressives need to stop giving support to the Democratic Party.
Good luck with that.
I think it could happen. I mean, it almost happened after 2016, and Bernie didn't want to do that.
Barely.
You know, if Bernie would have led that movement, it would have happened, and he didn't want to fucking do it. We need leadership, man.
I think it would have legitimized a third party, but he still wouldn't have won.
Dude, I mean, there's historic precedents. I mean, if you look at how the Republican Party was formed, they were a third party, and they had a really popular candidate in Lincoln. If you win a presidency, you are a major party in this country. It's just they took over. I think it was the Whig Party once Lincoln won, but you know, the Republican, I mean, there's precedence for it, but you have to be strong, and you have to be willing not to bend. And that's why, like, it's really hard for me to get on to progressives this time. I got onto I lost friends in 2016 for trying to get them to vote for Hillary Clinton. You know, I lost a lot of friends. And this time I just said, I have a hard time doing it again. I just, I'm going to vote for Biden, and I tell people to vote for Biden, but I can't tell progressives, hey, you know, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you voting for Biden like I did for Hillary back in 2016?
Mm-hmm. I did not vote for Hillary in 2016. I voted for Jill Stein. And this year, I'm just like, no, fuck that.
I lost friends over Jill Stein. I mean, why didn't you vote for Jill? No, I mean, I live in Michigan. I had to vote for fucking Hillary. You know, I mean, there was no choice for me.
Florida, same deal. Like swing states, we have an obligation, you know, to just suck it up, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and not enough
New York, fine, vote for Jill Stein. Don't fucking care. But if you're in a swing state, you don't have that luxury.
Yeah. And I was very mad because, I mean, she lost. I mean, it was very.
She lost.
It was so close here in Michigan. It was so close here in Michigan. If we'd have had those progressives voting for Hillary, she would have taken Michigan. I have no doubt about that. And I lost so many friends just talking about that and going at them. And I can't do that again. I just won't. I won't like blame them for not wanting to vote for Biden, even though Trump is just the worst ever. But like, I want to scream at them. Like, how can you not want to vote against fascism? Right?
Well, do you want to know what it is? And one of the people that I've been following the closest, because he's one of the people that's really, what's the term I'm looking for? That not emboldens, and encompasses how a lot of the hard left progressives feel is Ryan Knight on Twitter. I think it's their privilege. They know that even if Trump wins again, they're not really going to be all that affected by it, because they're white people. They're the kids of the white suburbanites who grew up wealthy, who just happen to be more left than their parents. And the thing is, they care more about their perceived sense of moral superiority and their ideological purity than they do preventing this country from slipping into fascism. And another thing I think that's going through their head is they think that another Trump win will somehow push more people to the left. And it's not going to. Where people are at right now in terms of their politics in this country is where they were at in fucking 2016. Very few people have changed.
I don't think that worked in 2016. Like, a lot of people thought that was going to happen in 2016, and I just don't think it has.
No, I mean, and the other thing is I mean, there are Republicans against Trump now that voted for him in 2016. So it's a little flaw in what you just said there. Hey, and just so you know, when I popped into the stream here, I chuckled. I wasn't chuckling at anything you were saying, Leo Filius. I was chuckling.
I didn't even hear it.
I was chuckling at the fact that me and Rage did what we always do. I went to click the button to put myself in the stream, and at the same exact moment, he was clicking the button to put me in the stream.
I saw the little
left me
glitch.
backstage. What's that?
I said I saw the little glitch, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, I thought about DMing you, John, and letting you know I was going to be streaming, but I figured you were either sleeping or watching Skylar.
Yeah, I was watching Skylar, and I got to take part for like the last 20 minutes, half hour. Hey, what's up, James Hogue? So, and there was it just so happened, this is great. You're going to love this. It just so happened that some troll that me and Skylar were arguing with on Twitter today, and he devolved into just throwing insults. I think he might be like Smokey's brother or something. And he was talking about me and Skylar being fat. And he hadn't even seen me yet, but then I changed my Twitter pic. I don't know if you noticed. I went and got a screenshot from one of my streams and changed it to my face because this pussy wouldn't show his face. And he even told us, oh, if you want to see my face, go to my channel and go to any video. And both me and Skylar went to his channel and went through a bunch of videos, and there was never anything but an avatar. And
well, how is the new attack point like arguing against people's weight now?
but check it out. Here's the end of the story that is so beautiful. So he comes into Skylar's stream tonight, and Skylar's pounding the fuck out of him, and then Dr. Josh had to leave, so it was just Skylar and this douche. And at one point, he fucked up and turned his camera on for like 2 seconds. And while Skylar was talking to him, he's like, I saw you. So I scrolled fucking back in the video, and I got a screenshot of him and sent it to fucking Skylar on Twitter. And then he put it up on the screen. And this motherfucker that was calling the two of us fat, he was a big fat motherfucker.
Dude, he had no neck.
Like,
they're starting to come over here.
Call me next time. Fucking call me in. Like, nobody's gonna call me fat and be taken seriously. Like,
I would love for somebody to call me fat.
Fucking hell.
Well, they're coming over here now. We've had a couple, I would say, white supremacists in the chat that I've already timed out for using homophobic slurs. Now we have Chris Radke in the chat who says, "Educate yourself." Here, we'll put it up. Can I? I don't even see it. All right, so it says, "Educate yourself on fascism. Trump has no characteristics of fascism, unlike Bernie and AOC, who would fit in nicely with 1930s Italy. You are fat, dude. Stop denying it."
I'm not even going to respond to that.
Well, wait a minute. I don't
want to give a
wait. You just called me. When? Please show me where in text or voice I've ever denied that I'm fat. I mean, when on Skylar's channel, when the dude actually started calling me fat in the stream, me and Skylar were on camera. He was hiding behind an avatar, and I said, "Yeah, I'm fat, dude. You want me to take my shirt off for you?" Like, I mean, so yeah, I'm fat. What's wrong with that? Does that make me less human because I'm fat?
That just makes you like a human pillow.
So that invalidates your opinions, apparently. That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, it seems to be the new right-wing attack because, there's no real arguments that you can use to defend Trump. So you just have to, be Smokey Saint and insult and try to belittle your opponents because you can't argue against them.
Honestly, that's like really pathetic, especially if you've got no room to talk. Like, I mean, if you're like a beanpole calling someone fat, it's still shitty. Yeah. But at least you're not a massive fucking hypocrite. Like, the hypocrisy is stunning.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, there's a reason these people always use avatars.
Yeah. Well, what did you say? What was that dude's name? Because I didn't even see the thing on the screen when you put
Chris Radke. She's like,
Radke. Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm on camera all the time. So knock. Yeah, I'm off camera right now. It's late, and why not? When you have a virtual tool, why not use it every once in a while? But I'm on camera all the time. Kitty's been on camera. I think I've seen Mr. Parker every once in a while. And Leo, Leo's right there.
So why don't you come in, Chris?
I'm ugly.
Yeah, I mean, you can come in, Chris. You can come in and have a conversation with us.
Why don't you come in and defend Trump? I'd love it if you would. We've literally tried for 8 or 9 months now.
I'm on camera now.
Yeah, we've literally tried for 8 or 9 months now to get Trump supporters to come on and defend their boy. And I think maybe once we got them to do that, Knock.
Yeah, once I really want that Vince. Well, I was calling him Rick James, but Vince James that was on Skyler's channel last night. I would love for him to.
All right, here we go. Hold on. He says love to. All right, here we go. So look, Knock will decide. This isn't for everybody. I'm putting it in the chat. Knock will decide if you can come in. Chris is coming in though. He wants to defend Trump.
It's an open room. Come in, be an idiot. I need somebody to yell at for a minute. I can't guarantee how long you'll be here, but
there you go, Chris. I just put the put it in the chat. Actually, it's the Rage put it in the chat because I'm on his account. But.
Hacker.
And be ready to put him back stream, especially if he tries to porn bomb or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
That Vince. What is
my guess is that he said sure, love to, but he won't come in because he's probably not. He's a Trump fan. So
how long have we tried to get a Trumper on this channel?
Yeah, they never show.
They know they can't defend their position. All they can do is spew out the same old talking points. But yeah, whenever I get my channel up and going, which I don't know when that's going to be, because in order for me to be able to stream to my channel, I have to verify it through my phone, and I don't have a phone anymore because I destroyed it, and then punched a mirror and fucked my hand up.
Well, you know what? I was just going to say, as soon as you said because you destroyed it, I had this picture flash in my mind of you whipping it at a wall.
That's exactly what I did.
Yep, I knew it.
And I spiked it off the floor I don't know how many times, and I just fucking decked the mirror. And yeah, now my pinky right here is like, I have like, it's all numb. I can't.
Those mirrors and walls are gonna win every time.
They're gonna jump out and attack you, man. You never see them coming.
Hey, the guy in the mirror.
You're never gonna win those fights, Leo.
I had a friend get drunk and get into a fight with the floor and ended up with a boxer's fracture.
I used to self-harm myself by punching walls, and it's something that I did for a long time, and I guarantee you, Leo, I never won a single one of those fights.
Jay, here's another Trump in here. Hey, Jay, we just posted a link. Come on in, defend your boy. You guys are the minority in this country, you know. You will see November, Trump 2020. Get the fuck out.
No.
If you watch any news or read anything in the newspaper or magazines, man. I mean, now he's right. Trump does have a chance to win because we all thought Hillary was going to win last time. But I just think because of the Republicans against Trump now, and, there's other people like the independent people that just absolutely would not vote for Hillary last time that will definitely vote for Biden this time. Yeah. I think Trump's got a tough road.
I think Biden's a little more liked than Hillary. I think that the fact that it's not Hillary Clinton, honestly, I think there might be some people who are, Trump 2020, but are like, let me just check.
I think Biden needs to start running a campaign and start campaigning. I'm very terrified that there's no grassroots movement. There's no attempt to go knock doors. Everything's virtual. Everything's on the phone. Yeah, there's no boots on the ground. That terrifies me.
Same thing that Hillary Clinton did.
And not coming to Michigan or Wisconsin. I mean, do not make the same mistakes. I know she's been out there blaming Bernie for 3.5 years. Hillary lost that thing by her goddamn self because she didn't come to Michigan, she didn't come to Wisconsin, and she didn't go to Pennsylvania.
Exactly. Well, not only that, but then the Democratic Party fucked Bernie right up the ass before she ever got the nomination.
I'm gonna keep allowing the fat ass jokes. That's not quite a slur, and John doesn't really, John doesn't seem to mind. But I mean, if you have homophobic slurs in the chat, you will be timed out. And
I mean, if that's all you got, that I'm fat. Boy, what a refutation to any of my arguments.
And any mods in the chat, that stands. No slurs. We'll allow this for now, but if I get annoyed with it, I'll just start timing that shit out too. I don't give a fuck.
You're not gonna. The thing with me is I'm not gonna get offended unless somebody insults Amelia Clark, and if you do that, I'm going to hunt you down, and I'm going to.
Well, you shouldn't have told him that.
You don't have to be down. You don't have to be down.
Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack off till my dick gets hard. Then I'm gonna gouge your eye out with my dick and skull fuck your brains into mush.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I can be pretty fucking. What happens when you hang around Marines? I can't.
Oh god!
I was gonna say that sounded a bit Marine-ish because I know some Marines myself. I don't think this guy's gonna come in. So until this guy comes in, if he comes in, we know Trumpers are bitches.
Right? Yeah, he ain't gonna come in. He's a Trump.
So John, you're here. What do you think about the news about RBG passing?
Well, I mean, I went on Twitter, and the way I found out was Erin Louise, one of my favorite people on Twitter, and she's been on this channel before. She posted a one-word tweet, "fuck," and I was like, "What?" I posted what? Because everybody that had responded to her so far was just saying things like, "Yep, it sucks. Holy shit," like they weren't saying what happened. And honestly, I swear to I guess I can't get away from it. I'm an atheist, but I swear to God, I still can't get rid of that fucking phrase out of my life. That the first thing that popped in my head after I posted what, and I was going through my head going, what could it be? What could it be? Oh shit, did Ruth Bader Ginsburg die? And then I went over to the fucking news section of the Twitter and says, oh fuck, she did. Now my question is, so we're a month and a half or so away from the election, and then let's see, 2.5, about 3 months away from when whoever wins takes office. Is there time between now and then for them to install another member of SCOTUS?
Yes, maybe not before the election, but there will be a lame duck session.
Fuck.
And the thing is, if Biden really does win, that's when I see people. Honestly, I think the Trumpers might still be like, "Oh, well, he's still the president. He should get." But I really do see a lot of people being, "Look, all right, he's lame duck." Look at what McConnell did in 16. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing. I think you're right, because it's one thing for the politicians to be hypocrites. We know that's going to happen, and they're going to try to push one. It's going to be a lot harder for all of those real Joes, those real Americans in the rural areas. My dad, right? It's going to be a lot harder for them to be hypocrites about it, because they were very vocal about supporting that decision not to allow Trump or Obama to have that nominee. And I still hope that most normal people aren't just absolute hypocrites. I mean, we've seen some pretty bad shit with this Trump, but I gotta hope that there's some integrity left in these people. and maybe that will be enough to sway a few senators to side with the Democrats and wait for the next president.
So, Leo, you said you used to be a Marine?
No. I hang out with a shit pile of Marines.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna join the Marine Corps, and then I just was like, you know what? I'm not gonna join the military because I actually know what the military is for.
Abortion-loving anti-2A witch bitch, LOL. I mean, do these? There's no argumentation from the right. They just come in and really troll. Fucking.
Look at this one guy. He called me a beanpole. I'm the beanpole that used to move 25,000 pounds of iron in an iron foundry every day using just this. I bet you couldn't do it.
I just find it funny. Like,
foundry I worked at, the first one, it was harder than that.
It's almost like they're looking for just like any leftist now, because wait, you're gone, dude. All right, so yeah, I already warned you. It's almost like they're fighting because this is an atheism channel. Scholar Fiction talks religion and morality, right? And yet now. I've only got 20 people watching, but at least 3 of those have consistently been neo-Nazis. and since this Vince James dude yesterday, Skylar's been inundated, or even before that, since that racism debate he's had on Modern Day Debate, Skylar's been inundated with a bunch of fucking racists. It's almost like these motherfuckers are scouring the internet for anybody talking left issues, no matter if they're just like, no matter what it is. It's kind of crazy right now.
What was beautiful about that fucked up on Twitter? He was being racist. He was being homophobic. He was being ageist. He was being the fat shaming thing. And he's an atheist. And when Skylar first let me on, I said, I'm so glad this guy came on, not just because we were going at him on Twitter today, but he proves positive that an argument a lot of theists make is not true. That a lot of theists, like the Joes of the world, the Praises of the world, the Smokies of the world, they try and say that atheism is this monolith, that, you know, every atheist is the same and says the same things and believes the same things. And I'm like, you know, here's most of the atheists I know also identify as humanists. And now here you have this atheist that's just a straight up piece of shit and doesn't give a fuck about people. Like, that proves that not all atheists are the same, you know?
Well, and that's been like the most disappointing thing about YouTube for me since I discovered atheism on YouTube is all the right wing fucking, like, I'm like, how do you side with the Christians in your politics? I still don't understand it. Like, you know, but I mean, yeah, no, we are this plethora of a clusterfuck of a community, right? Like, we just answer a question no, and that somehow gives us some kind of kinship to each other because we all experience the fucked up religion all around us. But outside of that, if you're a racist and you're an atheist, what's important to me is you're a fucking racist.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I have a question for Dr. Brian Oblivion. What's wrong with the gap tooth? I have one. It's not really
Doctor,
bad, but I
so-
have one.
He is an old troll, Leo, so he hasn't been around in a while. I'm actually glad to see you again, Dr. Brian Oblivion. I have missed all of your super hateful comments.
I mean, you should probably change your name to Dr. Brian Oblivious. That would be more fun.
Now, he has actually offered to come on and have a conversation with me. Now that Allie is gone because Allie was too smart for him. But now that it's just stupid old
You
me,
might
he
not
wants
like
to come
me.
on and have a conversation.
So,
I mean, he literally said that in his emails.
according to Skakalavu, what are we? Are we demons? Like, are you using that term on us?
I have come to take your soul that you don't fucking have.
Well, I got to tell
I'm
you,
not going to
I'm
say
not on
that
my-
word
I'm not in the-
your
I'm not in the
channel.
I'm not in the actual video live chat. Kitty, do you have mods?
No,
you have-
I don't have.
Oh, I should
Terms
give you
for-
mods. Where are you?
Oh no, don't worry about it. Like, I mean, I'm playing a game, enjoying the chat, chiming in.
Oh, yeah.
where,
Well, the reason I asked if you like
Right.
mods because Scholarview needs to be timed out. Because
Well, no, he's hidden now. He followed Demon with a homophobic slurs.
right. That's because it was in the same thing. Because he not only called us demons, he called us the F word, demon F word.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the chat. I mean, now that I have
I
to because
popped
there's
over and
Nazis
looked at
there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's still
Like,
in our
honestly,
chat in here.
how sad is it that like the majority of the people that think that they're part of like some master race, you know, tend to be like, you know,
Fat and ugly.
Not-
and disgusting.
overweight, unkempt,
Right
and
here,
low
let me
class.
let
you
me
know,
short-
like
let me short.
Products of
white
incest.
trash.
Why is it
Right,
that
chat? I don't know.
why is it that most of the people that think they're part of the master race act inbred? There.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and these are
It's
these are
crazy.
literally the douchebags that I opened the stream up when I said, "Fuck all of you guys celebrating this night, celebrating the death of this woman," and they're in the chat right now, so I can
Oh.
say it right to you. Fuck you guys.
I seriously feel bad for any of them that might be women or that have women in their lives. Because here's the thing about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, okay? She wasn't just some like crazy leftist. Like, she literally fought, like, one of her benchmark cases before she made it to the Supreme Court was fighting gender-based discrimination. There was a case where a man was discriminated against, and she used that as a way to get equal rights for women. It breaks my heart that we didn't ratify the Equal Rights Amendment before she died. Like, that is
Mhm.
something that is a pit in my stomach. But there was a point in time where I wouldn't have been able to get a credit card without the permission of my husband.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean, I'd
crazy.
be discriminated against on a job
And
because
you're-
I'm
and
a
you're-
woman
and you're
because I
young.
might get pregnant.
And you're a young woman too. I mean, so to hear you say that there was a time when you couldn't get a credit card, that's
Well, no, it was
crazy.
before my time. But I'm saying if I had
Oh.
lived
Yeah,
back
no,
then.
Definitely when I was a child, my stepmom she couldn't get an account down in North Carolina without my dad's approval. Like, without my dad going to the bank, signing papers and shit. At least as far as I can remember. Maybe I am just like remembering something, but I do have that memory and then it changed maybe in my teenage years, but I do have that memory. Yeah.
There's just a couple things real quick before we get too far past it, and my old brain forgets. The Streamlabs announcement of the Apostate Alliance every Sunday. Just so you know, this Sunday is canceled because our guest had to cancel at the last minute, and me and Faye decided to take a week off. So there will be no Apostate Alliance this Sunday, but Knock has said that he might do something, and I, might pop by too, or if he does a stream, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, because I do got this interaction on Praise's channel that's pretty fucking hilarious. So I'll probably I'll probably run that on Sunday. But speaking of like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, go ahead.
One other thing, yeah. Just so you're aware of it, Knock. When you were talking about the fucktards, reveling in the fact that Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, Jill made such a comment over on Skylar's stream.
Oh God, I'm not surprised at all.
I mean, he had said something. He was like, praise God, and
oh fuck,
all that kind of shit.
How fucking twisted do you have to be to, be happy that somebody died? Like, here's the thing. Even as much as I despise Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell, like, I'll be happy when they're no longer able to harm our country, but I'm not gonna, be happy that they die.
Yeah, I don't wish them harm.
Not Trump, but when Mitch McConnell dies, I will probably go piss on his grave, get so fucking hammered, and start dancing.
And here's the thing, and I hope I
think you probably have good reason to feel that way, Leo. He has been a racist for a very long time. Yeah.
Look, Kitty, I hope I don't make you not like me anymore by saying this, because here's the thing. I'll be happy the day Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell die.
Hey, that's fine.
I won't.
But when it comes down to it,
I'm with Kitty, because I'm a total humanist. I don't want to see any harm come to him. I really don't.
I identify as a humanist too, but I think the phrase "all life is precious" is total bullshit.
Yep.
Was Hitler's life precious? Was what's the Jeffrey Dahmer's life precious? Was Pol Pot's life precious? Fuck no. The world's a better place with all those motherfuckers gone. I mean, and the world will be a better place by just a little smidge the day that Donald Trump dies. Sorry.
See, I disagree, and me and John are allowed to disagree, but I'm staunchly anti-death penalty. I think that you can remove Jeffrey Dahmer from society without killing him. You could have removed Adolf Hitler from society without killing him. I mean, sure, it might happen in the course of trying to capture him.
I'm not saying anybody should kill them. I don't want anybody to kill them. I don't want them to be murdered. I would never kill them. But I'm saying the day that they pass by natural causes will be a happy day for me. Woo! Sorry.
Well, I when it comes to like Hitler, I could see you do great evil in the world, then yeah, I think you should celebrate when that evil is gone. And I do believe in evil. I'm an atheist. I believe in good and evil. I used to be a Buddhist, so I still have some of that yin and yang shit. But just on a personal level, like, I don't want to be them, right? Like, I don't want to hate my enemy so much that I wish harm upon them. Now, if it were to come to like a revolution situation, and I'm forced to actually choose the course of violence to carry out my political ambition, that would be a different story. But I'm not to that point yet. I want to try to pursue peaceful political negotiation to the very last moment, if it's at all possible. And that includes like just being that absolute secular humanist. I can sit here, I can rage, I can talk shit, but I don't wish anybody harm. I would love to see him go to prison. Like, I don't want to see him die. I want to see him go to prison.
Right. Because you know what I'm saying? That would be much worse than just like, for him to for Donald Trump to have to spend time in prison. That would be like that would probably kill him. I mean,
yeah, definitely. And it would be.
I mean, I so often get accused of not being like a real humanist, and I'm like, I am such a consistent secular humanist. It's fucking almost like sickening sometimes.
Yeah, I've just always felt that way. And I'm not saying like, in a way that like any groups of people need to die. I'm talking about individuals. Like, I won't feel feel
Oh yeah,
bad.
no, yeah, and John, like we've always been able to disagree on this shit, man. Like that's kind of what makes us such good friends is we can because we're so close on everything. We agree on almost everything. That we have these just little slight disagreements when it comes to the nuance of shit.
Well, actually, it's funny, like because I don't exactly subscribe to the whole every life is sacred. I'm not going to, you know, rejoice in someone's death, but like I actually don't have a fundamental opposition as far as like a moral opposition to the death penalty per se. But I do have an issue with the death penalty in practice because when you kill the wrong people, people that are innocent, it's proven they're innocent people on death row, then that's state-sponsored murder, and I'll never be behind that.
Yeah.
However, if it's somebody that you know they did it, the John Wayne Gacy's, the Jeffrey Dahmers, even the Dylan Roofs, like they literally caught him in the act after killing all of those black people in that church, and he reveled in it. I'm not going to shed any tears if he were executed. That's not going to bother me, like on a moral level, because whatever.
Well, so this has always been my position
It's
when
a proof thing.
Well, this has always been my position. I think it's a harsher penalty to put them in Gen Pop than to put them on death row. More than likely, on death row, you're never going to actually get that. I mean, it takes a long time to actually get to that execution, and oftentimes you're by yourself. You're not facing any danger. You're living a very solitary, quiet life right up until that moment. And Gen Pop, you're fighting. You're fighting for your survival. You're fighting for your ass. I mean, literally. I mean, it's it's a different animal. And when it comes to like especially like people that kill like young children or serial rapists, those people would catch hell in general population. And I'm actually like against putting people in solitary confinement to protect them. I think that people that are usually put in solitary confinement to be protected are the first ones that should be put in Gen Pop because I mean we're punishing these people and let it be a punishment.
I'm against the death penalty simply because I am against state-sanctioned killing. I believe that once you hand your government the keys to do that, you give them the keys to the doors of fascism.
Very fair point. And like that's
Smokey
another one
Saint,
of those things. Like,
Smokey Saint, I swear to fucking God, dude, if you come in here saying this shit tonight, you are starting something that you don't want to fucking start. I am gonna give you one chance to not go that route with me tonight, dude, because I mean, do you really want to poke the bear again, bitch? Honestly, I don't think you do. All right, I'm sorry, whoever I cut off. I'm sorry.
Fine. No, I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online, and I had my camera off because my son was running around in essentially just his underwear, and I wasn't gonna have that. I made him put some pajamas on, and I'm not gonna hide behind an avatar when people, are making comments saying that they're going to disregard what someone is saying based on, the way they look or their weight, and it's like, okay, try the fat thing with me. I'm not fat, so good luck. Have fun. But I do apologize for the mess behind me. My son went a little crazy earlier. He's on the spectrum, and he's kind of like a tornado picking a fight with a hurricane.
Yeah.
And he just he runs through Tasmanian devil style. Blankets, pillows, plushies everywhere.
Why do you think I punched a mirror? I don't
Come on in, Smokey Saint.
Get angry, but when I do, this is how I word it. My fuse is short. It's very hard to get the fuse lit.
Fuck.
But once that fuse is lit, back up. Back the fuck up.
Come on in, Smokey Saint. Come on in. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I won't bite unless you ask.
I come into your rooms all the time. I come in to talk to you all the time. Don't be scared.
Yeah, come on in, Smokey.
Smokey!
I am telling you, you can come in. I will have a conversation with you right now, Smokey Saint. We can talk about some
Hello, my love.
Some RBG and your celebration of
Maya,
tonight.
hey, how's it going?
Right, and I haven't had the opportunity to talked to a pussy ass bitch today, so I'll
and
he's off my to-do list.
He's a Trumper, John. So yeah, he's not coming in either. So
right, yeah, he wouldn't come in.
Oh, Smokey. Okay, so you just heard it, John. I did read your email to John, Smokey, because we found it so funny. We found it so funny. So he just gave me permission again, John. I now have permission to attack Smokey Sane again, as if I was ever going to stop.
Well, what letter? What are you talking about? Letter to who?
Remember the email that I read to you from Smokey the other day?
I don't think you read it to me.
Yeah, I did. I read you the whole fucking thing, dude, about him. He basically conceded and told me that he was going to back off and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see a puppy and a little kitty. Look at that little kitty.
I've got 4 cats and a dog. Sakura.
We have 5 cats, a dog, and 4 people living in this house.
I'll tell you what, my
I'm thinking
favorite,
about getting a cat.
My favorite Smokey moment of late is when he had Gavin hurling up, man, on his channel. And he was being so tender and sweet. And, oh, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I understand what you're going on. They're being so harsh on you, Gavin.
Was this about his divorce?
I could almost hear the tears running down Smokey's face when he was doing it, man.
Well, I guess what happened on Praise's channel the other night with Gavin was enough to really put Gavin in the shithouse with Praise again, because he doesn't have the power to put me back room and in the back room and time me out anymore. I'm gonna show that probably on Sunday because it's so funny to me. I mean, I'm cussing so much when this motherfucker's timing me out. They missed a good show by timing me out.
The one thing about Gavin is he's one of the very few people I will troll the shit out of with no remorse, because he is one misogynistic piece of shit.
I told Praise
call a lot of people a piece of shit, but he is.
I told Praise I was going to change course with Gavin. I did. I mean, I've talked with Jay and Jefferson now, and they've pretty much confirmed that there's some mental illness there. And I was going to change course, but after that other night in fucking Praise's stream, I don't think it's going to happen. That bastard just pissed me off. Like, he would not let me speak. They're sitting there desecrating the name of Breonna Taylor. Jesus is Lord is just desecrating her name, just lying blatantly about this shit. Jesus is Lord is just blatantly lying about Breonna Taylor. And I go on there to try to set the record straight, and all they just kept muting me and putting me backstage and let Jill talk and continue with his fucking bullshit. Red Fang was there, and they kept doing the same fucking thing to Red Fang.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, they did that to me all night. Gavin's afraid of me, so he doesn't like having me in the room.
Have you guys heard of SFB Mod, otherwise known as Joel, yet?
No.
He's fairly new. He's afraid of me, apparently.
How is he not found my channel? They usually find me first and talk, like say like the worst shit ever. Like, I mean, that's how it happened with Smokey. Like, I wouldn't know who Smokey Sane is today if he didn't start trolling my ass. I mean, they always seem, and I deserve it. I don't lie. Like, my Genesis chapter 11 is stupid video that I'm going to put out tomorrow is insulting as fuck.
look who's here now.
What?
Oh, P Mars.
Yeah.
On a sock account, like, God, damn it, P Mars.
Me Pars.
P Mars impressed me, right? So we were on Skylar the other night. I think it was last night. And P Mars is having a big boy conversation, John. It was and we even got into race, and he not once, John. And then I got on the Praises channel with P Mars and Jill, and fuck you, P Mars, fuck you.
That shit all changed when you after you left and you said goodnight. They called you a racist and all that stuff after you left.
Did they?
Well, of course.
They're just projecting. If Ray was a racist, would I be in here?
Oh man, I'll tell you what. Every time out of my mouth, I trigger somebody else's mouth. No, it's all right.
I just think you're slow, John.
On Skylar, I am slow.
That's just after his bedtime.
I am slow, I love them French fried potatoes. Yeah, Praise popped into Skylar's stream tonight, and he was actually a good boy for like about 10 minutes.
Did Smokey show up?
No, he didn't show up. Praise did, and Jill was there too. But
I did end up fixing my emails on my phone, and I did message Smokey like at 8:11 and said, "Hey, you've been talking all that shit about Dr. Josh. Why don't you go and challenge him?"
Yeah. Well, and of course he didn't show up. I mean, he can't back up.
Why anyone would talk shit about that man? Like he is so sweet.
Because they're intimidated by the fact that he has more knowledge than they do.
Year, no, like just fuck you if you're willing.
Well, yeah, especially right now. That's
and not only impugning his character, but trying to go after his scholarship, which is just insane. Because Smokey, I mean, I'm not even sure if he finished grade school, and he's going to say stuff about Dr. Josh's scholarship with all the education he has and with all the other scholars that he uses as sources for his material. I mean, because like his books, when he writes his books, it has his knowledge in there, sure, but a lot of the knowledge that he has came from other people, you know? I mean, it's just like
him and his wife literally yearly do a scholarship for one PhD student to help them. Just, I mean, and I don't think it's like a shit ton of money, but it's a good little chunk of change. And do you understand like just how helpful that is for a fucking PhD college student, right? Like, I mean, Dr. Josh is the nicest human being I've ever met in my life. I mean, you take away his scholarship, his PhD, he doesn't act like in all of my exchanges with Dr. Josh, and I've had a lot of them. Dr. Josh is another one. He has my fucking passcode to this channel, right? Like, I trust this man that much. In all of my exchanges with him, he's never like lauded his education. He accepts me, the high school dropout that I am, as a smart, intelligent man that's worthy of having conversations with. I know everybody, Smokey accuses Dr. Josh of writing my fucking opening statement and rebuttal for the Jill debate. He didn't. I wrote that shit myself, and Dr. Josh privately just told me how good that shit. I mean, if you have Dr. Josh telling you how good your fucking your debate is on slavery in the ancient Near East, you have accomplished something. And fuck what Smokey Saint says.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. As far as when it comes to Dr. Josh, if someone badmouths Dr.
Look at
Josh
that.
without
fucking you want to I'm sorry. This is trolling, John. This is a true troll.
Let me finish my sentence though, all right?
Sorry.
If anybody says something bad about Dr. Josh, now if they want to go after his scholarship and you have actual points, actual countermanding evidence, then fine. But anybody that says anything ill about Dr. Josh, that is all I need to know about that individual. That with that one data point, I can decide that you are a superhuman piece of shit. Okay, I mean, because
I like the way you put that.
I'm seriously. I mean, it's just if you go after Dr. Josh or Megan, then there's just no doubt about it. You are a piece of shit.
Yeah, because I mean,
honestly, truly, I will second that. And when it comes down to it, whether or not you finished high school or have a higher education, honestly, right now, the way our school system works, it's rote memorization, and that's not necessarily the best for everybody. You don't actually learn a lot of skills that you actually use in life. And it's not a measure of your intelligence whether you were able to complete it or not. Intelligence to me is more of a thirst for knowledge and bettering oneself and learning more about the world around you, be it in an area of politics or science or technology, sociology. It doesn't matter. What it comes down to is whether you have the willingness to put in the time to learn. And you can have high school dropouts that go on to do amazing things, and you can have doctorate students that waste their lives doing nothing of value.
I have people all the time ask me, so what college are you in? And I'm like, I'm not in college. I was in for a semester in agriculture, at Ellsworth Community College, which is just a small.
I'm sorry,
Neil, but
apparently all us atheists use the same bathroom.
Dr. Brian's a real troll. I mean, Smokey Saint can learn something from Dr. Brian Oblivion. That dude has said shit to me, John, that has nearly made me cry. I ain't gonna lie. Like, this motherfucker knows what he's doing.
Ronnie just had the potty of other atheists, so apparently we all share the same bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to me, like the trolls and all of this shit. I had something to say and I totally forgot what it was, and that should surprise nobody. No, it's nobody's fault. Because I mean, it's Dr. Brian Oblivion. Just he makes me laugh, dude. Like when he actually shows up, his trolling is really, really good. I almost sometimes think it's Will Kincaid, but then Will Kincaid isn't as smart as this dude is. So I give props where prop is due. I've seen a lot of trolls. Dr. Brian Oblivion is the fucking best.
I gotta tell you, I haven't been impressed by him so far tonight. So
you haven't seen the private shit he sends, John. This dude is everywhere. Like, he has trolled me effectively for quite a while, man.
Hey, Dr. Brian, smart guy. You spelled pity wrong too, you dumbass.
Yeah. He's not really a doctor. You know, he's a doctor. He's probably a doctor like Kent Hovind's a doctor. So.
Yeah, they probably are around the same intelligence level, to be honest.
You know, I'm really disappointed that we had two possible people that could have came in here and told us how bad Ruth Bader Ginsburg is, and they didn't. Smokey Saint and the neo-Nazi from earlier. And I think that does go to attest a little bit that, you know, they'll sit in a side chat behind a keyboard, but they're not going to really come in here and argue against a woman that is going to go down in history as one, you know, probably one of the greatest judges we've ever had, if not activists that we've ever had in this country. I hate that I sometimes allow the chat to get me kind of sidetracked, but it is one of those nights. Like, I wasn't even planning on doing this, but you know, what happened, and I felt like fuck it, let's.
And one of the funny things is that even Donald Trump, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, said that she led a wonderful life. But there was something else I wanted to mention about why I think so many of these YouTube Christians attack Dr. Josh, is because he's a professional and they're not, and they don't really have any other way of dispelling the fact that he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, we were talking Dr. Josh. I knew I had a point.
And I experienced this when I was in one of John Maddox's streams a week or two ago, where I had mentioned Sean Carroll, who's a renowned astrophysicist, cosmologist, and theoretical physicist. And he said that Sean Carroll is an idiot and isn't well respected in the community. And I'm like, so then why are all the people in his community praising all the books that he's read? Why is he a New York Times best-selling author and science communicator? Why are all these other professionals collaborating with him on the Mindscape podcast? Why is he one of the biggest names in the theoretical physics community if he's not well respected? It's just, you don't like the fact that the majority of the professionals in a particular field don't agree with your opinions on the field. And that's why all these Christians deny when you bring up the consensus. They say, oh, well, that's just an argument from authority. Why are you always bringing up consensus? You don't like it when we bring up consensus because it doesn't agree with what you say. That's the problem.
And to add to your point about Dr. Josh, too, is the reason that the Christians have to badmouth him and go against him is because he's an atheist and he knows their Bible better than any of them do.
Exactly.
Okay? So they have to denounce him and badmouth him.
I do remember what I was.
I don't know. Let's restart your game.
Whoa,
yeah. I remember what I was going to say now. I'm not your conventional high school dropout. So I dropped out of high school because of sports fucked me up. Then I went to prison, and then I got out of prison and I went to college. And I've spent my entire life since then learning certain shit that I find interesting. So like I'm probably not a conventional high school dropout, and I say it on stream occasionally, but I hardly ever talk about it.
What did you go to college for?
English. I was an English major. I've always been like a book writer. I've written like 12 books of poetry.
There you are. Oh,
I'm gonna mute you, Red Fang, until you're ready. to
Did
talk.
it again. I was just in the middle of doing that when you said that.
Go
ahead.
I did it again. But so yeah, I mean, I was an English major, and then I've written 12 books of poetry, 2 novels. Both of the novels sucked ass. And I'm writing my first autobiography right now. So, and I'm actually gonna like publish that, have it on the channel, and all of that good shit.
That's impressive. Well done.
It is. Yeah, most of what I know, I taught myself. Because the way that, so like when I was in high school, I didn't take any classes on like basic trigonometry and pre-calc and stuff like that. And I'm teaching myself calculus now. And I'm just like, why was I not teaching myself this earlier? Because this is really not that hard. But I think that the way that the public school system teaches things makes it harder than it has to be. And I think that's more that standardization there, where it's more memorizing shit and regurgitating it rather than understanding the concepts. And a good example of that is pi. Everybody knows what pi is. 3.14, the area of a circle is pi r squared. But does anybody know where pi comes from? Most people don't. It's the radius of a circle wrapped around half of a circle. That will be 3.14 of the radius of a circle. But nobody knows that because they don't teach you that shit in school. Why the fuck not? Understanding the basics of the concepts is crucial to understanding these things at a more rigorous level. And I think if we did that in schools, if we taught people why these things are the way they are.
All right, well, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to blow your mind right now. Why is pi the radius of a circle the size of pi? Like, because how do they? What's the derivation of that?
So you know the radius of a circle. So take that radius. So let's picture I have a circle here. We have the radius, which is half of the diameter. Take the center dot and move it to where this dot is. So you've kind of shifted it over. Now take that radius and wrap it around half the circle. That will equal 3.14.
Right, I understand that. Why?
So that's where we get the 3.14.
Right, but why is that so, though?
Because that's the way circles are. It's just an inherent fact of the shape of the circle.
All right.
When I first learned that like a year and a half ago, I was like, what? That is so fucking cool. Why did I not learn this in like 5th grade when I first learned it?
My brain doesn't do math very well. My brother is my brother's like a math whiz.
I could teach you basic differentiation right now, and you would be like, that's really not hard at all.
I got the algebra
and minored in mathematics, but for me, I have dyscalculus, so numbers get jumbled around for me. It's basically like it's basically dyslexia, but for numbers. So I have a lot of trouble with math, and that was the only subject I really struggled in school.
Yeah, I made it to like algebra, and I literally like just turned in my textbook and like, if you don't pass me, I'm not playing football. So I got to see.
Algebra. See, I don't mind algebra. Geometry, I'm not a big fan of. Calculus, I'm actually starting to like, just because of the ways in which you can apply it, and you're just like, you know what, this is really fucking cool that I can just use this actually fairly basic stuff to come to complex, or to get solutions that would otherwise be a little bit more complex to get.
I was fucked up in math growing up because I had to do everything at base 9.
Oh shit!
See, can you see that?
Yeah. Base 9. Wow.
I had to do everything at base 9 because I only got 9 fingers.
Wow, that's funny. I'm sorry that really is funny.
You're probably the only one that got it, Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get base 9, but I've seen your hand before. So
yeah. So
Well, I wanted to answer Dr. Brian's Oblivion's question. It might be the only serious question I've ever gotten from him. Why didn't you finish your degree? I've actually talked about that in my on my channel several times. I partied my way out of college. I moved into this there was like 4 apartments. It was a house that was renovated into 4 apartments, and we were all college students. And we had about 50 motherfuckers up in there every night. And you're not gonna do well in college in that scenario. So yeah, once we started doing that, I didn't last too long.
Oh my God, Maya hit it on the head here. They teach them to hit the nail on the head here. They teach them to pass a test, not to understand the content. See, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the same thing
I am good at tests if I understand the material. But if you're just teaching me how to pass that test, I'm not going to pass it. And that's exactly what the public education system is. That's why I don't want to go to college. I don't want to sit there and spend 4 hours every fucking night doing problem sets that don't really help you understand intuitively the concepts behind the subject that you're learning. It's pretty much shut up and do the work. And that's not the way I learn.
Well, I enjoyed college more. I don't know how it is now, because I mean, when I did go to college, we're talking 20 years ago. But I enjoyed college a lot more than I enjoyed high school. Right. So like high school, it was more like that for me. Like, yeah, like they gave you the work and you had to study what they told you to study. To where in college, I really got to study what I wanted to study. So I did enjoy myself in college a lot more. I probably definitely would have finished it if I hadn't got caught up in the party scene and my hormones hadn't got the best of me and I was trying to reproduce as much as I could. So
yeah. Hey, so as you can probably see from my yawning.
Yeah, I am going to end this actually too, because I am getting really, really tired myself. I do want to thank.
It was nice chatting with everyone.
Yeah, it was a fun talk.
What I was going to ask you if I could spit my shit, because I got to do it every now and then to see if I remember it.
You can do whatever you want, man. You're like co-host, so.
But just for anybody that didn't see the video I put out on Knox channel a few months ago, I'm going to stop my camera so that I'm not distracted. So you've got the right to believe in God, and I've got the right to be lucid. Sounds harsh, but it's not bigoted, because you weren't born with belief in your head. Bloody, bawling, buck naked enter all of us. All we know is what we learned and what others tell us. So please don't mind if I don't take you serious about this cat named God and his boy Jesus. Or maybe you're down with Allah or you're Jewish. Doesn't matter. Every deity's cartoonish. Might as well be worshiping the Three Stooges. At least the Stooges exist. I got the evidence. It's a wonderful world, not built in 7 days. No divine intervention or mysterious ways. When shit doesn't happen, it's not God's grace. And one man and his rib didn't start the human race. You say God's hand guides history? Well, then what's the deal with all the fucking tragedy? If when things go right, it's his mercy. When things go wrong, is it his apathy? I mean, if he really saved the baby that fell down the well, the million babies that died that day must be in hell. Why would a God pick which evil to repel? The answer is clear. God is fictional. The Vatican was silent during the Holocaust. While slavery reigned, was God's guiding hand lost? Why'd we have to wait for Rosa Parks? Which Bible verse reads back of the bus if your skin is dark? I mean, why would you want to be an altar boy? You might wind up really altered, boy. Wind up some sick priest boy toy. And if he's caught, another church, another toy. If a corporation had covered up raping kids, everybody would have flipped their lids. If it had been Microsoft, McDonald's, or some other biz, their stock would have dropped till they were done in. But the Catholic Church, it still stands. And the church's sin was greater than the pedophiles, man. Because a pedophile can't control himself, or maybe he can. But the church was in control when it covered up sins. So if you're a pedophile avoiding the law, just buddy up with that cat cardinal law. Because covering for pedophiles is Vatican protocol. Every one of them is guilty, all the way to John Paul. When John Paul died, we got Benedict. I wonder how many altar boys he tricked. Each unsuspecting lad hand-picked and taken to the rectory and piously dicked. So
I like that a lot.
well, I'm not done. I'm trying to remember the next one.
That's what happens when you don't do it every single fucking day.
Right, yeah, you got to do it every day. Public prayer's about the public more than the prayer. Can't your God hear you anytime, anywhere? You pray in public to show you're together and to cast light on those who dare differ. It's hard to stand apart from the throng. How many believe just to belong? You got to die to see if you're wrong. As death draws near, is your faith still strong? In the name of God, people fly planes into buildings, strap on bombs, detonate public gatherings. Some even condone homicide by truck dragging. So if I was one of the faithful, I wouldn't be bragging. Just imagine 7 billion people on the same page. John Lennon knew the score, a modern day sage, taken from us all by some Bible thumper's rage. Yeah, just imagine, what would John sing if he was here today? There is no God up in the sky, no Holy Ghost to deify. It's just her and him and you and I. And when you die, you really die. There are no angels on a wing, no watching over, guardian. No one hears the hymns you sing, and every one of us is a supreme being. Romantic musings these might be, though not uttered from bended knees. I have faith in what I can see. And by the way, there's also no tooth fairy. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna show just this part of that video to some people just because they need to hear every fucking word you just said.
That was amazing.
Yes.
I think there's a little more to it that I forgot. I can't remember it right now. I got it all written down on 3x5 cards, so it's not lost. It's just
Let me. I muted myself. You got to remind me, John, to do that fucking poetry stream. I promised like Faye that we would do this poetry stream like a year ago, and then I never did it. And I told Hi Harry we were going to do it, and then I told Joe, the Christian Joe. I know you probably know what I'm talking about. That we were going to do it. And I've never fucking done it because I always forget, and I get like so OCD and passionate about Matt Powell or Smokey Saint or whoever the hell I'm going at. You know, so like we got to do that, man. We got to do that.
I need to ask you. So, did in that because you've heard me do it several times. Is that a better pentameter?
I mean, it gets better every time you do it, but like with spoken word poetry, you've got to practice it every day. So like when I was doing slams, I had about 6 poems that I was on a rotation. So I did those 6 poems every single day, over and over and over again. No matter how well I memorized them or how well I had the nuance or the voice inflection down.
Right.
And then I would rotate because in a slam, you're only doing 3 poems. If you make it to the final round, that's 3 poems tops. So I could rotate those 6 poems, and then I could work different poems into those 6, depending on which slam season I was in. So, you know, you don't want to go into the next slam season using the same shit. But the point, like, you've always had really good inflection as you're reciting it. Like, if you actually spent, give it, let's say 4 to 5 hours every day for the next 6 months doing that poem, then you could probably like actually put it on an album and people would want to buy it, because I mean it's got really good words and cadence, but it just takes such practice to master voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Slam.
Amazing.
Tell me what this is about. This is just a little one. We call it living, but you're dying every minute. You can stand your ground till they bury you in it. Buried in a box, in a bigger box with the sky. Watch them all dropping like flies, and soon you realize they're all gone and you're just waiting to go. Oh no. Even before you begin, you're just dust in the wind. We're running the same race that everybody wins. It cuts every man down to size. It's the one rule that no one defies. They're all gone and you're just waiting to go. Oh no. What's that about?
I don't even want to guess because I know it's gonna be wrong.
It's about dying.
Okay, so I was right.
You were right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's got to be about just what.
Yeah, I would have said loss probably. James Henry wants to talk. What are you talking about? Dr. Brian, shut up. Yeah, I love my poem with the moving cloud backgrounds to Dr. Brian Oblivion. I don't put my poetry on the channel enough, I don't think, because I do still write poetry. I don't practice it enough to have that voice inflection. I know John thinks that some of my videos I use, and sometimes I do try to use that old voice inflection. But sometimes I just think it comes out naturally, and I don't realize it until John points it out, and then I'll go back out and listen to it. And I'm like, God damn it, John is right. I didn't mean to do that, you know. So,
Yeah,
but I really want to do that just because I'm really interested in hearing the poetry of Faye. I am almost guessing that her poetry is going to be mind blowing.
But yeah, just to finish his sentences, because he kind of jumped mid-sentence to another sentence, is what he's talking about is like in some of his prepared videos, like when he talks about Native Americans, or he's just talking about some concept that, you know, from religion or whatever, it really sounds like he's delivering one of his poems, even though it's just a written script of, you know, of points he wants to make, and just his rhythm and everything. It comes off sounding like I can't remember the last one that was like that. I think it might have been when he was excoriating Smokey, actually. And he looked into the camera and was just talking directly at Smokey and trying to reach him. And it just sounded like Knock was like reciting one of his poems. It was fucking great, man.
I do miss those days. I mean, and that's another answer to Dr. Brian's question from earlier. Another reason why I didn't finish my degree was because I thought I was going to get famous. You know, like I had everybody telling me that I was going to be this famous poet, right? Like I had Maya Angelou listen to one of my poems one time, and she looked at me and told me, "You've got a future." And I'm like, "I've got a future."
Holy shit.
I didn't have a fucking future.
You had to have told me that before, man. Because
well, I mean, Maya was she was a professor at Wake Forest down in North Carolina. So where I lived in Winston-Salem, that was where she lived. So I met Maya Angelou several times, like, wow. You know, several times.
Did you just say Maya Angelou?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got several. I've got actual books on my bookshelf where she addresses me personally. And signed the book and addresses me personally as Ronnie. Yeah.
Is Matt Powell here? I keep seeing the word cupcake in the chat.
I haven't been in chat,
but I do want to let you know that I mean, I don't know if he's listening, but his tag still pops up. So Smokey Saint definitely heard that first poem that you had. Hopefully it's making him think.
Well, I don't understand like why everybody keeps using the word cupcake. I'm looking for Matt Powell and I can't find. Is Dr. Brian Oblivion Matt Powell?
No. Your email address, cupcake. No. All right, no, he's trolling me because he has reached out to me a couple times about having a conversation, and I've never just responded to him. Like I said, like he said, I mean, I know everybody says they're not impressed with Dr. Brian Oblivion. He has trolled me effectively. So I'm not intimidated by a single human being on this planet. I'm not intimidated to have a conversation with him. I just don't know what that conversation would entail. And as you know, John, I can't have any more like real old dumpster fires to where we have like homophobes coming on the channel and spitting their just blatant homophobia. I'm putting eventually all of my cupcake videos are going to be on the other channel. I want to demonetize. I want to monetize the channel again, and that means I have to, you know, I have to get rid of that old work where we were combating the homophobia and having the homophobes on and conversing with them. So
yeah, that's one thing. I don't know who gets fucking YouTube, man. They must be letting their computers do everything, because you can do a fucking stream where you are showing parts of another video and denouncing the fuckery that they espouse, and then your fucking video gets blocked or you get a strike or something. When
they said that when I'm covering the hate speech, that it's my responsibility. So their hate speech is my hate speech.
But that's
what YouTube told me.
The thing I wanted to mention is if you live stream another live stream before it's ended, that is not that is not under the fair use doctrine. So your video, if it gets flagged, will get taken down. That happened to Altangelo today because he was live streaming Godless Engineers live stream and they flagged it because it did. And one of GE's viewers literally went and looked it up in the fair use doctrine and how that plays out on YouTube. And no, that YouTube does not allow that. You cannot live stream somebody else's live stream while they're still live streaming.
Yeah, I've only done it like once or twice, like just to like pop in on Smokey. Say, hey, let's see what Smokey's doing. He's talking about me, and we'll pop
That's
it
so
back
funny
out.
because Dragnaut does that all the time with G-Man streams, man.
But usually what I do is I don't even like I record it and then I put it through Premiere so I can mess with the audio and get it either louder or lower. So, but I don't even mess with the fucking live streams anymore. Most of the time, I just put it through my Adobe Premiere and I fiddle with the audio, and then I use that file to do my streams.
So I did want to ask: is the demonetization of your channel the reason why you can't super chat?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and it's the reason why I don't get the views I used to get either.
And you know what else is stupid about that is I could see. Okay, they say, look, your content isn't advertisers aren't interested in it, so we're going to demonetize you. But the fucking super chats, YouTube gets 30% of that.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would they shut that off? That doesn't even make any fucking sense, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, I really still think like fuck the capitalists. I mean, YouTube takes a fortune.
Yeah.
YouTube. If I can make this
$90 billion, no, I think Google is like, I think they're like 100 and something billion now. Why the fuck are they taking 30%? They should be taking 10. And this is the thing. Everybody goes with Patreon. Does Google not realize they're losing potential revenue? If they would allow super chats on pretty much any channel and all that stuff, and people could still join a channel and drop what they take from 30% down to 10%, they could rival Patreon and collect more revenue while doing more for their content creators. But they don't care about their content creators. They only care about the money they can make off of them.
Well, yeah, I've never really understood that either, and I didn't understand when they took super chats away. But I never really liked the fact that people would be putting money into super chats, and then like a good chunk of that money wasn't going towards the actual channel that they were trying to support. If I can make the Streamlabs thing actually work in chat like some people do, I'm just kind of like tech illiterate. Then it's actually a larger percentage will be going back to the channel. And I do have plans. I just keep. I am OCD as fuck, and I have my passions. So it's hard for me to actually just click on Streamlabs and do the adjustments I fucking need to do. I mean, honestly, it's hell. And I think my daughter's got it. Like I'm starting to see like signs that she's got the same shit that I got, and I'm like, fuck, man. I was kind of hoping she wouldn't have.
I am very curious.
Real quick, guys, before you, I gotta go. I'm about ready to pass out right now.
I know I keep rambling, and I need to really shut it down.
Kitty, it was nice spending time with you again.
Yeah, always.
You
A little
too,
kitty
Leo.
therapy before we go.
Yeah, there you go. Here, hold on.
Raise the
I
glass
really,
to RBG.
Here.
yeah,
She was a living legend, and she will fucking go down in history as one of the most
Look at those kitties.
effective
I would go
and
grab mine.
amazing
I would go
women
grab.
in politics, in the courts. Like, she literally was a fucking hero.
Yeah.
Yes, she
So,
was. Yes, she was. I was going to tell
She
you, John,
will be
earlier before you go. She not only got she got her master's at Cornell. She started her graduate law degree as one of the very few women at Harvard, and then completed her law degree at fucking Columbia. And we're talking about a woman born in 1933. She was a pioneer of women's rights. So yes, I want to thank you all for joining me and kind of honoring her and fucking with the chat a little bit. We hardly ever get to really interact with the chat anyway. So
Are you in the stream right now?
Yeah, I do need
right
to end
now?
it, but I will let you have a final word if you want a final word.
All right. The only thing I was going to say to anybody. Well, first off, it was nice meeting Kitty the Atheist. I think I might have seen you like in the side chats, but this is the first time I got to meet you. You seem like just such a kind-hearted, brilliant person. People are free to subscribe to my channel. No content out yet. Once I get my phone and I can actually start streaming, the content will start to roll. And so feel free to subscribe. I'm also on Twitter at Leophilius, so you can follow me there. And as always, Stan Amelia Clark.
Yeah, and Secret Service, go to Leo's house.
As for me, my closing remarks are Kitty the Atheist. I don't really do any content yet. I'm actually really busy with sewing masks. I've sewed almost 300 so far. And
awesome.
John's actually got some from me. But so that's where most of my free time is. And then when I need to take it easy, I just play video games. But please wear a mask, social distance, be safe. Like, we don't need more people dying to COVID, honestly. And please, please, please go vote in November. Like that, like this is like this. They say hyperbolic things all the time about, oh, this is, you know, a once in a lifetime like danger and threat, and like it's existential crisis. Like, but no, this is literally the ball could get rolling to undo all of the gains we've made in civil rights in the last 50 years. And that would absolutely be devastating. I mean, think of the future you want to leave to your kids. Do you want people of color, LGBT, women, do you want them to have less rights than straight white males? I mean, honestly, like, we should be going towards a more egalitarian society where you have equal rights for all, and where, while you can't guarantee like everybody starts on the same line, you're always going to have those that are going to be more privileged. You at least make sure that if someone's going to run a race, they're starting at the 0-yard line and they've got shoes, not starting at the -1,000-yard line with no shoes and a bullet in their knee. So like, we can't guarantee equal outcome, but equal opportunity, and a way to kind of level the playing field a little bit so that you don't have so many people being disadvantaged because of who they love and who they're attracted to, what they look like, you know, be it skin color or gender. Like, honestly, things could get so much worse than they are right now. And if 200,000 dead Americans and a fucking conservative pack court that treats
fascism?
corporations as more people than actual flesh and blood people, unless you're a fetus, then you have more rights than a flesh and blood woman. Like, this is important. Wear a damn mask. Fucking vote in November, not just down ballot. Vote. Please vote for Biden and get Trump out. We can worry about moving everything else to the left after we end the
Get rid of the fascist
threat of Trump and the fascists.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's my little soapbox speech.
So my final
Thanks
word.
for coming down. Like and, you know, share and subscribe if you're not, and don't be a dick. Like, that's a really good life
Don't
motto.
be a dick, yeah.
Speaking of don't be a dick, my final words are two different things. James Henry, you did say something. You did, or not James Henry, Dr. Brian Oblivion. I said nothing offensive. Why was I timed out? You were timed out because you said something offensive. The word that rhymed with email, that's a pejorative against the LGBT community. So if you don't think that's a pejorative, then maybe you got to go do some soul searching for yourself. I'm saying that colloquially, of course, because I don't believe in a soul. But and my final words are boomer, tired, sleep.
Yeah. All right. My final words are simply I think you're right, Kitty, and it's time. You know, I was pretty down when I started the stream. I feel a little bit better. I mean, this is a devastating blow, but it's time to fucking fight now. It's time to get out there and tell progressives that they got to fucking vote for Biden, and it's time to really. We're gonna have to fight to save Roe v. Wade. We're gonna have to fight now. So yeah, let the fight begin. You guys have a great night. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for honoring.
Thanks for having me.
Mama Atheist.
Oh, hey, what's up, Mama Atheist?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what's up, Mama Atheist?
Oh,
sorry, Mark.
Oh, no, you're good. But we are gonna get out of here. Like it is super late for me, and I'm gonna go to sleep. You guys have a great night, and yeah, it'll get better. the dawn will be bright in the morning, and let's begin this fight, and we'll
Have
do
the
it together.
moment of grief.
Yep.
Remember what a hero she was, and use that to galvanize you to continue her work and protect her legacy. We cannot let Ruth's legacy be destroyed by fucking fascists.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I bumped my stitches in the lacerations. I had
honey.
punching the mirror, Mama. That's why I was freaking out. She asked what I did, and I bumped that on my leg. And
Do you have anything with like any like lidocaine or anything? Like they've got like
it's not that
spray-
I'm in pain. It's just like if I like bump it on something, like even if it's soft, it just hurts for like 10, 15 seconds. And I
All
don't
right,
think-
good night, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
Good night, Santa Amelia.
No,
Y'all have a great night.
Nightly and Phyllis